Ozzy Osbourne has announced he's quitting touring and canceling all of his upcoming shows. The 74-year-old rocker says that while his voice is fine, his body is weak. Well, here's my word. Get the hell off my property now for decades. A Beverly Hills mansion held Ozzy Osbourne's darkest secrets when the Prince of Darkness announced his retirement in 2023. His studio was immediately examined, every medical record, personal journal, and private correspondence scrutinized. For months in 2024, they finally released their findings, and what they discovered inside left everyone stunned, from devastating health diagnoses to shocking family revelations to the real reason he's leaving music. This is the story of what really happened behind the scenes of heavy metal's most enduring. Icon John Michael Osborne was born on December 3, 1948 in Birmingham, England. When he was born, his family lived in extreme poverty, struggling to survive in the industrial wasteland of post-war Aston. From the very start, his life was marked by hardship. His father Jack worked night shifts at the General Electric factory, while his mother Lillian juggled caring for AZ and his 5 siblings. At just 15 years old, he dropped out of school. Unable to read properly due to diagnosed dyslexia, the future Prince of Darkness seemed destined for a life of factory work and obscurity. His childhood in working-class Birmingham shaped his worldview on resilience. Unlike many rock stars who romanticize their humble beginnings, Ozzy's early journals describe genuine deprivation. Nights without heat, shared clothes among siblings, and often not enough food. These experiences created both the hunger for success and the self-destructive tendencies that would define his career and personal life for decades to come. Documents found in Ozzy's home revealed that his struggle with learning disabilities was more severe and traumatic than previously. Known school records showed that teachers often subjected him to humiliation and corporal punishment for his inability to read properly. Mistaking his dyslexia for laziness or defiance, personal writings describe how these experiences created a deep-seated belief that he was stupid and worthless, feelings he would later attempt to numb through substances before finding success in music. AZ worked a series of menial jobs: slaughterhouse worker, plumers, assistant car factory horn tuner, and even a brief as a burglar that landed him in prison for 6 weeks. These experiences, detailed in journals found in his home, reveal how desperate he was to escape Birmingham's industrial fate. One particularly revealing entry from 1967 reads, "Either I find a way out through music, or I'll die in the factories like everyone else. There's nothing else for someone like me." Ozzy's musical journey began with Geyser Butler, who invited him to join the band Rare Breed when that group dissolved. They formed Earth, which eventually evolved into Black Sabbath. In 1969, with Tony Iommi and Bill Ward, they pioneered a heavy, doom-laden sound that would revolutionize rock music. Sabbath's early success was meteoric. Their first 5 albums all achieved gold or platinum status, creating a template for heavy metal that remains influential today. Private financial records found in his estate tell a different story about those glory. Years than bands might expect. Despite selling millions of albums, the band members saw surprisingly little of the profits. Contracts signed with their early management were heavily exploitative, with the band receiving less than 6% of record royalties. A letter from 1973 shows Ozzy complaining to management that despite global fame, he was still unable to buy a modest home for his first wife, Thelma, and their children. What's more shocking are the medical evaluations from that era found among A's personal files. Even at the height of Black Sabbath's success, doctors warned him about his drinking and drug use. A medical report from 1975 notes signs of liver damage and early cognitive effects that should have served as a warning. Instead, the band's management appeared to have deliberately kept these health concerns from Ozzy, concerned that sobriety might affect his stage persona. The eventual firing from Black Sabbath in 1979 hit AI harder than previously known. Journal entries from this period reveal a man contemplating SU suicide, convinced his career was over. One particularly dark entry reads, "No band, no money, no future. Maybe everyone would be better off if I just disappeared for good." These documents shed new light on what Ozzy has often described as the lowest point in his life before meeting Sharon Arden later. Osbourne, who would become his manager, and second wife, Sharon's entrance into Ozzy's life, is often portrayed as his salvation. but letters between the two reveal a more complex beginning Sharon. Initially approached managing Ozzy as a business opportunity to prove herself to her father. Music manager Donner Dan, a draft contract found among Ozzy's papers, shows she originally proposed taking 50% of his earnings, a figure they negotiated down before.